So, what is going on, sad boys and gals? What's going on for those of you who are penny boys and gals as well? Stock crypto traders alike. Welcome to today's class. This is our crypto safety school. We do these every Tuesday, 1 p.m. Eastern. And then we followed up with some trivia going over the topic of the live session. And of course, you know me, the trivia has some great giveaways that we're going to be doing today as well. But for today's class, what we're going to be doing is we're diving into the world of blockchains. So I know Farouk said in the chat earlier that you're not even sure exactly what a blockchain is. Who here understands pretty well how the blockchains work? You can say me or yes in the chat. And who here has no idea what a blockchain is, how it works, what the difference between like a Solana blockchain versus a Bitcoin blockchain, how those work are. Just it's good to know like who already knows this in the chat and who doesn't. It says crypto. All right, no, that's totally fine. A lot of people don't like, even a lot of people who are trading crypto like full time have no idea how the blockchain even work, how nodes work, or anything like that. I do have a class. It's like our pre-class posted in the Crypto Safety School. It's a recorded version of a live session I did in Florida, actually, just kind of going over the basics of just what the blockchain is, what Solana is. I think there's also like a Phantom 101 setup in there, so you can definitely be sure to check that out. It's very basic stuff. Nothing that's nothing that I haven't taught already in the past. Either live to, I think it was like lawyers was the last live session I did with that, but it was in like a law office. But before that, I think I did it in like Twitter Spaces. So definitely basic information, but definitely important information if you want to understand how to talk when it comes to Bitcoin and Solana. So I know blockchain, or the term blockchain, can sound super technical or even intimidating if you're new to crypto. But don't worry, we're going to break it down in a way that's simple and easy to understand. That's the whole, for those of you who've been in PBU, and especially, back in the day in 2020, when it was first coming about, it's, the name of the game for my type of education is trying to turn complex just topics into ways, or turning into ways that people who have no idea about anything when it comes to, the stock market, or in this case, the crypto market, putting in terms that are easy to understand for them or just for anybody. Because I know I personally, I've listened to certain, just to certain YouTubers, this, that, whatever, they're talking about, oh, this is what you got to do, whatever. And it doesn't make any sense because they're using all these terms that I have no idea what they're talking about. And so, when it comes to this basic education, both in the Penny Boys University and here in the SAAD Crypto Safety School, it's all about just breaking down complex topics into simple and easy to understand wording. Duck just said, I have no idea about any. By the end of this, you'll not only know what a blockchain is, but also how different blockchains like Ethereum, Near, Base, Sui, and Solana work, and why choosing the right one really does matter. Whether you're a trader, an investor, a developer, you're trying to launch a coin, or whatever it is, it does matter where you do it. Whether you're here to invest, trade, or just understand the tech behind the hype, hopefully this class will be perfect for you, especially if you're brand new to crypto. So let's get right into it. So a blockchain is basically a digital ledger. So just think of it like a record book that's shared across a bunch of computers instead of being stored in one place. So instead of one company or person being in charge, it's decentralized, meaning no one entity or no one person has full control. What keeps it secure is something called cryptographic consensus mechanisms. That's just a fancy way of saying everyone in the network agrees on what's true using complex math and encryption, which makes it super hard for anyone to cheat or mess with the system. So Bitcoin was created because the creator, Satoshi Nakamoto, who that's just a pseudonym. We don't know if it's a person, if it's a guy, a girl, or a group of people. I always say, it could be John Cena, it could be NSYNC, it could be the Backstreet Boys, it could be anybody. We don't know. I doubt it's any of the people that I just mentioned, obviously. All these people I mentioned were kind of just too busy doing what they were doing to create a blockchain. But the whole point being is Satoshi Nakamoto, we don't know who or what or how many people they are, or him or her or whatever. And so Bitcoin is created, because Satoshi believed that the problem with the U.S. financial system wasn't the system, but the people involved in the system, and the fact that the system relied on us, as in humans, having to trust other humans. So the blockchain is a code. There's no trust needed, just like in math. There's only one right answer, and just you can't, you can't really muck up math. Math. 1 + 1 is going to be 2. No matter how many people try to tell you it's 3, 4, 5, or otherwise, and no matter how much power they have, that 1 + 1 = 2. So that's that's kind of how the blockchain works. Whereas with the United States or just most financial systems, there are people involved, and the people are typically the reasons why financial systems crash, just because the people are the ones who are not trustworthy. It's not the code or the system; it's the people. So if you want to learn exactly how the Bitcoin and Solana blockchains work, like I was saying before, we do have a class in the Crypto Safety School channel. I'll drop that class or that channel right here again in the chat. That really goes over in detail, how blockchain works, or how the Bitcoin blockchain works, how the Solana blockchain works from more of like a technical perspective, how mining works and the halving. So I go over all that in detail in that class. But I didn't want to go over that in too much detail in this one, because this one's more about just going over different blockchains in general. So now there are a few things that make blockchains really special. The first one is decentralization. So what can somebody tell me what decentralization is in the chat? We'll get you on the wheel. The first person who can put out a good answer on what is decentralization. Great effing song. Means lots of branches. So that's one way of saying it. Wallet without a central. I'll put a few people on the wheel depending on how they there we go. So I'm at White Goodman and Kaylee, and I'll get Farouk. Lots of branches kind of count, because there's it's not just one branch or just one person controlling it. Wallet without a central works. It's not one central central government or one central entity owning it. Those four answers are perfect. Decentralization. I think the best way, as White Goodman said, this is controlled by many, not one entity, or as Kaylee said, is ungoverned by one entity. So decentralization means there's no single authority running the show. The system is more open and less likely to be controlled or manipulated by one person or one company or one entity. This means it's not controlled or owned by a bank or a government. Like no one person or one entity can really sway it one way or the other, like in governments or in even like the banking system. No one can really sway the blockchain, because it's not owned by one person. You can't just like go to XYZ person and like, hey, I'll give you $1 million if you make sure this happens. Like there's no person to do that. You can't pay anyone off when it comes to decentralization. Second is immutability. So once something is recorded on the blockchain, it's there for good. So you can't go back and change it, which makes everything more trustworthy. It's not like someone can shred certain information or paperwork like people can in banks or the government, or accidentally forget to file something. Like there's no human error, or we say error, mistake, whatever, or even humans doing things on purpose, to create errors. That can't happen with the blockchain, because everything is right there in the public. There's a code. Everyone knows the code. Everyone agrees on the code. And we're not reliant on people. We're not reliant on trusting people when it comes to the blockchain, which is the whole point of the blockchain. And lastly is security. And Farouk, I see you have a question. You said Phantom is an example. So Phantom would be an example. So that's a wallet that would be decentralized if you are using the decentralized features on Phantom, meaning if when you created your wallet, you used a seed phrase, then you do have a decentralized wallet. If you decided to save your password, there is an option with Phantom to use Google or Apple, then you do not have a decentralized wallet, because your information, your keys, all that is stored by Google or by Apple, either on the cloud or on the Google Drive, or whatever Google uses. And so like decentralized, if you have a seed phrase, you are in control of your wallet. You have the keys and all that. However, if you lose the keys and all that, you can't really get it back. Whereas with Google and Apple, you're relying on Google and Apple. They have the key. They're storing all the stuff for you, so you're not fully in control. But if you lose your password, whatever, you can just use Google or Apple to get it back. So Phantom definitely is like a mix. If you lost your seed phrase, if you're able to get onto your wallet, I'd either make a new one, try to get that seed phrase, or just transfer your crypto onto a wallet that you do know the seed phrase. Because if if you're using decentralized, the whole point about decentralization is that for the people, by the people, it's us. We're governing our own finances, but that means we're also responsible for our own finances. So if we lose our seed phrase, like if I lost my seed phrase right now to my wallet and I got logged out of my Phantom wallet, I can't get back onto that thing at all, like ever. I can't call up Phantom. I can't call up, President Trump. There's no one I can call to get back onto that wallet. So definitely make sure you do not lose your seed phrase. I store mine here on my. I'm holding it right now. You can't see it, but I'm like I forgot I'm on camera right now. But I have mine on a Shield Folio Stone book. This is and I'm actually trying. I'm trying. I wouldn't don't go out and buy a bunch now yet because I am trying to get us some custom Sad Boy Shield Folio Stone books. My buddy or not my buddy I met through through making content or whatever in the Web3 space is the founder of Shield Folio Stone Books. It's this book that you can store your seed phrase in. It's made with stone paper. You can't tear it. It's really resistant, or it's tear resistant, fire resistant, water resistant. And so the whole idea, of your seed phrase, you want to keep it safe in somewhere that is ideally not online where someone can hack it, but also not in like a piece of paper that can get thrown out or whatever. You can hear me holding the book up in the air. And so the other thing that makes the blockchains is so unique or just so nice for crypto users is the security of the blockchain. I'm not saying of our of us personally, our personal security of our wallets or of our exchanges. I'm talking about security of the blockchain as a whole. Blockchains are locked down with super strong encryption, making it almost impossible for hackers to mess with the data. That doesn't mean that hackers and scammers can't hack your wallet to get the crypto out of it or make fake links to steal crypto. But it just means that the actual blockchain is very, very, very pretty much impossible to hack. It's kind of think of it like it's someone can probably steal your bank your credit card, your debit card out of your wallet. They could take a picture or whatever and steal that information. That's easier for them to do. They can hack into your account, get your Chase login. But for them, like hacking, getting in, breaking into the bank and stealing money out of the vault's gonna be a lot harder. So in the same deal with crypto, hacking the actual blockchain, like the Bitcoin blockchain, to try to like steal money out of the blockchain, that's damn near impossible. Whereas, somebody hacking, I have no idea how to hack anyone, but a hacker who knows how to hack, hacking into Farouk or the internet bum or Pookie's wallet, that is very easy to do, honestly. And that's why we have these crypto safety schools that keep y'all safe. Because it is decentralized, is all about not your keys, not your crypto, which means that you have to be really, really careful about your crypto and how you store and handle it and all that kind of stuff, because it is decentralized and you are responsible for that. And then that's once again why we have the crypto safety school, to teach people how to stay safe from scams and hacks. I think last session we went over just emergencies and how to get through emergencies. You don't ever want to use the skills that we talked about last class. And by emergencies, I mean hacks or scams. But we talked about what to do because you want to know what to do. Just like with you get caught on fire, you want to know, oh, I should stop, drop, and roll. You don't ever want to be caught on fire or be on fire, but it's good to learn what to do if it does happen. Same deal with emergencies in crypto. You don't ever want to get hacked. But as Gabriel knows, as I know, I've been hacked. Everyone who's been in crypto for a little bit, they know it happens. And so it's good to know what to do immediately. What different wallet revokes, how to take your wallet away from different sites and connections, how to transfer your crypto safely, how to transfer your crypto if you can't use Solana. All these different things, is really important to know. Just like it's important to know how to stop, drop, and roll, even though none of us have probably actually ever had to do that before. And ideally, none of you will have to do that, or have to deal with a crypto emergency. That's the whole point. So like I said before, hackers can't really just like hack into the the blockchain and change the code or change things like that, but they can hack into your wallets, which is why it's so important to be safe. So all these things that we're talking about together, the security, the ledger, and all that kind of stuff, is all what makes a blockchain secure, transparent, and just really powerful. So let's talk about a few different blockchains. We'll get a point on the wheel or a name on the wheel for everyone who can name a blockchain. And obviously, if you name one that's already named, it does not count. We got Gabriel, BNB. We got the dude with Bitcoin, BTC. We guys going fast. Duco with Solana. We got Nosurski with Ethereum. Cole with Sui. We got, let's see, Stack and Benjamins with XRP. For those of you who are XRP Army, Gabriel says, "Sad, that's not a blockchain. That's a coin on the Solana blockchain." XRP Doge. Technically, they actually kind of have their own. That's Sui already got. All right, let's do. We're going to talk about Ethereum first. So if Bitcoin is I guess we'll do another trivia question. Bitcoin is known as digital blank. What is known as digital blank? Or what Bitcoin is known as digital what? Digital blank. Yep, nuclear, right? Yep, Bitcoin is known as digital gold. What's known as digital silver for those of you in the chat? Those of you who've been in our past trivia in Penny Boys, you probably know this one. A lot of people, the trick is, it's going to be Ethereum, but it's not Ethereum. Nuclear, you got that one right as well. It is Litecoin, is known as digital silver. So we're going to talk about Ethereum first. So if Bitcoin is known as digital gold, Ethereum can be looked upon as digital oil. It powers a ton of applications and smart contracts. Ethereum was the first blockchain to introduce smart contracts, which are basically self-executing agreements where the rules and terms are written directly into code. This means no middlemen, and the contract just runs automatically when the conditions are met. And so Ethereum is an altcoin. So Bitcoin that we were just talking about earlier, that is the first ever coin. That's like the granddaddy of all the crypto. That's just the original crypto is Bitcoin. Any coin that isn't Bitcoin is an altcoin. It's an alternative to Bitcoin. And then you also have your meme coins, which are just based off of a meme. So your altcoins are typically your coins, your crypto projects, blockchains, whatever. These are going to be your coins that are trying to solve a problem. So these altcoins are trying to solve a problem that Bitcoin does not solve with its current code. So these altcoins are alternatives to Bitcoins with alternative codes that solve problems that Bitcoin cannot solve. So Bitcoin, was created to solve the problem of the fact that we just could not control the government or could not trust the government and the banking system after the 2008 financial crisis. Satoshi said, I don't trust the government. I don't trust the banking system. I want control over my money without having to store a bunch of cash in my sofa or whatever. And so Bitcoin was created to solve the problem of not being able to trust humans, in the systems. Like I was saying before, the problem with the system in the financial system, according to Satoshi, was not the system, but instead having to trust humans. So it was the humans that was in the system that was a problem, which is why he created Bitcoin, which solved that problem because it uses code and not trust. So Ethereum came around to solve another problem. They wanted to be able to use smart contracts. Bitcoin didn't have that. And so Ethereum came around and they were the first to introduce smart contracts. Solana came around because they wanted faster transactions and less gas fees than blockchains like Ethereum. Filecoin came around to solve the problem of storage. They're kind of like the Google Cloud of decentralization. So, all these altcoins are coming around to solve problems. Then you have your meme coins, which are not made to solve problems. They're just there to be a meme. Just typically just pump, usually just pump and dumps because there's no actual value behind, the actual memes other than the community and hype. And eventually, usually hype and community eventually dies off because people have lives or get bored or whatever it is. And so that's why, we keep talking about how us and Sad Boy, we're currently trying to technically build what is going to be an altcoin because we're trying to solve problems here and create use cases, but we're doing it in a meme coin world where it's all about just pumping money into KOL's pockets and trying to find the next person to buy up your exit liquidity. That's not what we're about in Sad Boy. So your meme coins, which are all just about hype, no value really other than the community and what the meme is about. And then you have your altcoins, which are meant to use codes to solve actual problems or just to use cases to solve actual problems. That like in our case, therapy is super expensive. Whether it's online therapy or, in person, especially in person, is going to be super, super expensive. Therapy is very, very expensive and it's hard to get to sometimes for people. And it's intimidating for some people to get access to. And so, having an AI agent, having this, the things that Austin and his team are building, that does solve a problem, solves a real world problem. So, now he is actually a vampire. For example, with Ethereum, as far as the problem that it solved, the smart contracts, you can mint an NFT where the smart contract makes it so you gain access to an exclusive Discord or exclusive channels in a Discord. It can make it so that you get paid X amount of tokens every month or every time that XYZ happens based off of the contract. It can get you access to live events using the NFT as a ticket and just other things like that as long as it's built into the contract. So one of Ethereum's biggest strengths is its massive developer community. It's got the largest number of decentralized apps, or DApps. If you ever hear the term DApps, that just means decentralized apps. And it says the largest number of those built on it. And it's the go-to platform for all things DeFi, decentralized finance. So you have your DApps is decentralized apps. Your DeFi is decentralized finance. and NFTs is a big thing on Ethereum. However, recently Solana has taken the spotlight. On top of that, Ethereum is also super secure because of how big and decentralized the network is, making it really hard to mess with. But of course, nothing is perfect, and all that popularity comes with a price. What is the big, I guess, negative connotation everyone says about Ethereum? For those of you in the chat, let me know what's the big negative part about that everyone talks about with Ethereum. I'll get you all on the wheel. Remember, we're spinning this wheel later on for some giveaways. So this is your way to get on that wheel. We have some trivia after this, going over all the information we went over today, with some trivia questions to get you on the wheel as well. So let's see, Stack and Benji's is the first one on my screen that said the gas fees, and that is correct. So, like we were saying, nothing is perfect, and Ethereum's popularity literally comes with the price. Take care, internet bump. Ethereum's gas fees, which are basically the cost to process transactions. These can get super high, especially when the network is busy. So I think it was Nikki or somebody was talking. She was like, "Oh, it says I don't have enough funds to send SAAD token. I believe it's to Stickman." And she's like, "But I do. I have all the SAAD token. Why does it say insufficient funds?" And I was like, "Oh, well, it's the gas fees." And she didn't realize. She's like, "Oh, like you just spend Solana in order to send your SAAD boy." And so that's a very important thing to for those of you who are new to realize, is that if you are using a blockchain, you're going to need to have some of the blockchain's crypto, or the crypto that you use for gas fees in order to use it. Think of the gas fees as like, when you use PayPal, or you use PayPal or Chase, Zelle, whatever. Sometimes there's going to be fees involved to make the transaction happen. That's what these gas fees are. For Ethereum, the gas fees are very, very high, typically, whereas with Solana, they're going to be on the lower side, just due to the way that the network, because Solana was created after Ethereum to solve the problem that Ethereum couldn't, which was create quicker quicker transactions and less gas fees using their way, which we were talking about in the crypto safety school, that class I talked about. They use a whole different method of than Bitcoin and Ethereum to make sure that the gas fees are less and make sure the transactions are faster. So if you are using a SAAD token, you want to send SAAD token to somebody or sell your SAAD token, buy more, whatever, you're going to need your Solana, because SAAD token's on the Solana blockchain. Solana is what you use for the gas fees. So I can send 10,000 SAAD tokens to the internet bum, but I'm going to need to pay Solana to power that transaction. So on Ethereum, transactions can be slow at times, which is so slow and expensive, compared to some other blockchains like Solana. However, it is the most popular one, or recently Solana has become a little bit more popular for some traders, but Ethereum is still like when it comes to smart contracts, NFTs, it is still like the granddaddy of all that. Just like Bitcoin is the granddaddy of crypto in general, and using crypto for transactions and all that. Ethereum is really the founder of smart contracts, NFTs, and DApps and all that kind of stuff. But other blockchains, like we're going to be talking about, like Solana, have kind of taken it to the next level and made it cheaper and easier to use. So next up is going to be Near Protocol. I actually got a buddy, Cade Bergman. He's a holder of SAAD token. He's very, very heavily involved in the Near Protocol project. He's traveled like all around Asia and Europe with their team, doing different events and stuff like that. This seem to be a really cool project. That guy Noah Major, who I was just recently on that live X stream with. He was asking me about SAAD Boy and all that. You can find that here in the SAAD team. If you go to that SAAD team channel, there's a whole bunch of different videos and podcasts and interviews and spaces about SAAD token, just for those of you, or SAAD token for those who want to learn more about it. But Noah Major is one of the guys who did an interview for us, and he is really big into the Near protocol system or blockchain. So if Ethereum is like digital oil, Near is more like a high-speed train. It's built for speed. Same as Sol. Has built for speed, for low costs, and ease of use. So Near was designed to make blockchains more accessible and scalable, especially for everyday users and developers who might find other blockchains a bit more complicated. So think user-friendly. One of Near's biggest strengths is how fast and cheap it is. Transactions are super quick, usually finalized in just 1 to 2 seconds, and the fees are so low they're almost unnoticeable. Plus, it's really user-friendly. That's what it's built for, or one of the reasons it's built for. Unlike other blockchains where you need long, complicated wallet addresses, like so for you guys, for everyone here, in order for me to send crypto to y'all because we do giveaways on our Tuesday 1 p.m. Eastern Sad Boy Shill Spaces. We do giveaways on this Spaces, sometimes on our Wednesday 5 p.m. Eastern trivia streams in Penny Boys. And so if we do these giveaways and I need like, hey, Snowflake, you won X amount of SAD, I need your public address. He now needs to go and find his public address on his wallet because chances are, and here, let me know. Does anyone here in the chat? No, you don't have to post it. Does anyone here in the chat have their public address memorized? That string of letters and numbers or whatever from that you send people if you want to get Solana sent to you. Duco says, "Oh yeah." Farouk says, "You don't know where to find it." So definitely Farouk. Check out in the Crypto Safety School. There is a channel or there's a post called Resources in there. There's a whole class that goes over how to buy, sell, transfer with Phantom Wallet, how to use the applications, the dApps, and all that kind of good stuff. So definitely be sure to check that out. Yeah, knowing how to navigate the wallet and all that is definitely super important before getting too involved in trading with the crypto. I put mine in 8 ATEX, says Pookie. That's smart. No. The last 4. That's yeah. Actually, I don't even know if I know. I think I know like the first letter of mine, honestly. Yep, and that is exactly what it is, Farouk. You're correct. And so that you can send to people. That is how it's like your PayPal address or PayPal email is how you get people to send money to you. If anyone, Farouk, or just anyone here, if anyone ever asks you for your seed phrase, it's a scam. Even if they pretend to be Phantom support, Coinbase support, if Donald Trump himself calls you up and says, "Hey, what's your seed phrase?" or what, don't. It's a scam. So do not ever give out your seed phrase. Yeah, like Nuclear says, give out your social security number, your credit card info, phone number, and license plate before you give out your seed phrase. Definitely. But as far as your your public address, that's the one that you just sent, Farouk. That's okay to send out to people who you want to have sending crypto to you. That is how they send crypto to you. However, if you have like a main account with all your SAD tokens, all a bunch of Bitcoin or your main crypto account, I wouldn't just be sending out that public address to anybody because then anybody can send you tokens to that address, and then God forbid you interact with the token and it's a scam token. And in the token smart contract, like we were talking about earlier, it has a wallet drain or a wallet hack. So, when it comes to your public address, you do want to still be careful with who you share it with, especially for your main wallet. I have a wallet just for giveaways. I have a wallet just for when I'm doing like walkthroughs and stuff. Like I have separate wallets for separate things like that, just on purpose. Where I just thought, oh, Top says my seed phrase is engraved in steel and it hangs around my neck. That's awesome. Jeez, is that true? The dogs, I believe. That's insane. If that's true, then that's some respect right there. Like Mike Tyson, but with lions instead of tigers. All right. So yeah, like we were saying before, Near protocol is definitely on the faster side, on the cheaper side compared to Ethereum. Also on the user-friendly side. And you don't need a complicated wallet address. Near lets you have a simple human-readable name. It's like like a word, which makes things a lot easier if you're new to crypto. It's also super scalable thanks to technology called sharding, SHARDING, which helps the network handle a ton of transactions without slowing down. Let's see who has dirty minds. There we go, Duco. I knew it was gonna be Duco. Oh, there's Farouk. I remember I told y'all the recording has y'all recorded so that they see y'all in the chat. Oh man. Duck was talking about SAAD. Yeah, yesterday we did a trading trivia session just like this, where the educational portion was on streams of income, like your earned income from your jobs, your profit income from your side hustles, dividend income from dividends, maybe for those of you who are talented, royalty income from different music or different art that you might be getting royalties from. Then you get the boring interest income, like your savings account, and then the fun capital gains income or lack of income for some people, for some of us, when it comes to trading stocks or crypto. Income from stealing Top's metal seed phrase. OnlyFans would be a profit income. That's a side hustle. That's and if done right, just like making content, just like trading, it's a pretty good one. I have no idea that I don't actually have one. I have friends and I know they make a decent amount of money. So yeah, the nice thing about Near is that it gives you that human readable name as opposed to that weird string of letters, numbers, and all that. and it has the sharding as well, which makes it able to handle a ton of transactions without slowing down. Another thing that makes Near stand out is how builder friendly it is. Do we have any developers in the chat or anyone who does like software engineering or like anything tech related? Because if you do, and you eventually get into Web3 and you want to start developing applications or apps on Near, well, developers love Near because it's easy to create powerful apps without having to deal with the complexity you find on some of the other blockchains. So, whole user friendly that works for both the traders, people who are using the wallet, as well as the developers. The tools and resources are super accessible, which can lead to a growing ecosystem of decentralized apps or apps across everything from finance to gaming, on those Near wallets and on the Near DeFi apps. The Duco. So yeah, Near is also making some big moves in, you guessed it, the AI space. It's a big keyword nowadays. It's becoming a hot spot for integrating artificial intelligence into blockchain applications, allowing developers to build smart, more responsive apps that can interact with users in new and different ways. So this focus on AI is helping Near push the boundaries on what's possible, when it comes to the blockchain world. This also just makes it a really exciting platform for both developers and users because AI is the current, or one of the current metas. But Near, of course, is not without any challenges, as is any ecosystem or any blockchain. Otherwise, there would only be one. The Near ecosystem is still growing, so it doesn't have as many apps or as big of developer community as Ethereum, at least not yet. It's also newer, which means it doesn't have the same level of adoption or recognition as Ethereum. But with its focus on speed, low cost, and usability, it's definitely a blockchain to keep watching as it keeps growing. And you can also invest in Near protocol. I think we actually have a trade idea for a possible trade for what's it called, for Near protocol, and there it is, off-chain plays. So yeah, it's true too. So let's talk about Base. Who here has ever traded on or used the Base blockchain? Duco, you gotta verify that wallet. You just need $5 in your wallet to get access to the alpha. It's like literally just $5, not like $5 a day or $5 a week. As of right now, it's just you just need $5 as we work on scaling it out and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, down the line, we plan on either tokenizing it or making it what Penny Boys is, where we make revenue, because you need revenue in order to run a company. That's the big thing that a lot of people don't understand when it comes to creating crypto projects or NFTs. My experience talking to many founders in the past 3-4 years or whatever, since I started making NFT content. And because of my content, I got pretty lucky and was able to get into some rooms with, or I guess Google Meets or whatever you want to call them, and even rooms actually, and in live events with people who were doing some pretty big things, like Kevin DeGods, one of the co-founder of DeGods NFT, and I got to really pick their brain and understand the difference between in theory how one runs certain projects, and then how one actually does it and does it for the long term and success. I know when Sad Boy first started, I was like, oh, why don't we just throw a bunch of money at all these KOLs and we'll just pump to 50 million market cap, no problem. But then we realized, A, how expensive a lot of these KOL pump and dumpers are, and B, we also realized how it's not sustainable, because then eventually the dump happens, and unless you have some other pump and dumper to become the exit liquidity for the one before that, then eventually the dump will just continue to dump, and we don't want that for anyone here. That's what really kills the projects, is a legitimate pump and dump. But we definitely are planning on using the alpha right now. It is 5,000 tokens, but we definitely plan on using this as a way as we build it out, because no one's going to buy something if it's not marketable. And so right now we're just making it marketable, but we're going to definitely use it as a way to create some revenue and do what a lot of the failed projects that I've talked to, like in 2021 or 2022, who aren't here anymore, who had great ideas or trying to save the pandas and save the polar bears and rescue dogs and all that kind of stuff. And they gave a lot of stuff to holders, a lot of rewards, a lot of giveaways, a lot of marketing. They're not here anymore because they didn't know how to make money. And so we're really, really, really putting a stress on not doing that, not just throwing money around, and not just doing it the easy way. And, trying to build a business long term using the blockchain. Like, we're just on crypto for the fun of it. We could have done this without crypto, without Web3, without the blockchain. We could have just found like a VC, to fund it or whatever. But this is the better way to do it, we think, is by using, for the people, by the people. And ideally, then the people will get rewarded. You just got to hold on a little bit. So Base is kind of like the cool new kid on the block. It's a layer 2 blockchain built on Coinbase, and it's designed to make Ethereum faster and cheaper. So think of it like a shortcut that still connects to Ethereum but avoids some of the traffic jams. The biggest strength of Base is how affordable and quick it is. Since it's a layer 2 solution, you get much lower transaction fees compared to Ethereum, and everything moves a lot faster. Plus, because it's backed by Coinbase, it's super easy to use, especially if you're already on Coinbase. And it's designed to integrate smoothly with their products, which makes it a great entry point for people who are just starting out in crypto. But of course, there are going to be some downsides. Because Base is built by Coinbase, it's not as decentralized as other blockchains like Ethereum or Near. That means there's a bit more control in the hands of one company, in this case, Coinbase, which some people in the crypto world don't love. Also, since it's still pretty new, its ecosystem of apps and projects is still growing. But with Coinbase behind it, Base has a lot of potential to grow fast. Next up, we're going to be talking about SUI, SUI. So this is a sleek, futuristic sports car of a blockchain, kind of like Near. It's all about high performance and smooth user experiences. This was built from the ground up to handle a huge number of transactions at lightning speed and designed to make building apps on blockchains easier for developers. So one of the bigger strengths for SUI is its speed, just like with Near and some of the other ones we've been talking about. It uses a unique technology that allows for parallel processing, meaning it can handle multiple transactions at the same time without slowing down. This makes it perfect for things like gaming and other apps that need to process a ton of actions quickly. You don't want to be gaming and have it buffering on you. SUI also focuses heavily on user experience, making it easier for both developers and users to interact with the blockchain. So with your Web 2 and your centralized servers or whatever, you have these big rooms or whatever, with computers and all this processing power, housing basically the servers. Whereas with decentralization, it's not just one entity that is making these servers run. It's the whole ecosystem, which makes it a little bit different. Let's see what we got in chat here. Nice. Your 1 day is green. I love that. Oh, you're up to 909 already today. I know you're up to like 8 something earlier. This is up Farouk. So SUI, one of the big strengths, is the the speed, like we were talking about before, the user experience as well. Being able to handle multiple transactions without slowing down. However, like any new blockchain, it does face some challenges. Its ecosystem is still pretty small compared to giants like Ethereum or even Solana. Plus, since it's newer, it hasn't faced the same level of stress and testing that more established blockchains have, so it's still proving itself. We saw what happened to Solana when it was tested very heavily by the Trump and Melania token drops. And who here tried to sell or buy anything on the Solana blockchain during that? It was literally minute, like 10, 15 minutes for some people. Some people couldn't even get through. Coinbase ran out of Solana or something like that. It was like a whole ordeal. And so that's something that you want to be careful about when you're looking into blockchains. Is kind of handle if a bunch of people do get onto the blockchain, what's going to happen. So that said, with its focus on speed and user-friendly design, SUI does have a lot of potential to make waves in the blockchain space, just like Near Protocol, Base. Like they're all very similar in the sense that they're just trying to be quicker, a little more user-friendly. And less gas fees than Ethereum. Near has just a little bit more user friendly. It has the AI attached to it. SUI, is going to be a little bit more on the well, not really on the quicker side, but it's quick, just like Near Protocol would be. So all of them do have their pros and cons. And then of course we got Solana, which is the home of SAAD Boy. Solana is kind of like the high-speed roller coaster of blockchains when it comes to like Solana versus Bitcoin or versus Ethereum or any of the other big players. It's fast, exciting, and perfect for people who want quick transactions. Solana is known for its ultra-fast speeds and low transaction costs, making it a favorable thing for things like NFTs, gaming, and other high-traffic DApps or decentralized apps. So we call Solana home because we are on the Solana blockchain, Farouk. So like if we were a Ethereum token, like Crypto Mori is the NFT I own, they're also mental health oriented, they were at least when they were, big and around back in 2021. But they're on the Ethereum blockchain. So if I was to buy if I was to sell my crypto Maurice NFT or transfer it or whatever, I would have to spend Ethereum gas fees. But since Sad Boy's on the Solana blockchain, we're using Solana blockchains and blockchain. We're using what Solana offers as far as that blockchain goes. If we were on the Sui blockchain, then we'd be using Sui for our transaction fees, and everything would be on Sui. Yeah, same here, Matt Fisher. If that was an ETH token, I wouldn't be here. Yeah, like that'd be ridiculous with the fees and all that. Yeah, I mean the one pro about Ethereum, of course, it's just more well known. But at this point, with Solana is really, really upped its game as far as their marketing goes. It's honestly not even on them. They just got lucky with the pump fund and the meme coins and the celebrities getting involved and all that good stuff. Yeah, that's something we're talking about, Stacking Benjis, honestly. Pools and LPs and all that kind of stuff, adding liquidity. This is the kind of stuff that's going, that's where money spent is going to be smart money spent as opposed to just throwing it, at, when marketing or whatever. But building pools, building liquidity, building ways to, to make sure that when we do get pumps, it's going to be sustained. That's what's really, really, really important. And when sells do happen, it doesn't completely destroy the chart. That is what we're focusing on right now as far as spending money goes. And then of course, building out a roadmap, figuring out the whole AI, how we're going to launch that, when we're going to launch that, and then building out announcements and marketing based off of that, because it's a lot easier to market a project as opposed to just market nothing. The biggest strength of Solana, like we were talking about before, is the speed. So transactions processed at fractions of a second. Fees are super low, usually less than a penny. This has made it really popular for developers who need a fast, cheap blockchain to build on. When I was in 2021, 2020, 2021, when I was heavily involved in Web3 and NFTs and crypto and all that kind of stuff, during the that first bull run, or not the first bull, but during that bull run of that time, Ethereum was super, super popular, and we were all trading Ethereum and NFTs, and it was very, very normal. It wasn't unheard of for someone to pay $200, $300, $400 on gas fees just to mint an NFT that was super popular during a super popular time on the blockchain. It's like when a lot of people were on. Very, very common to spend a couple $100, $300, $400, on gas fees for a very popular project. Also very popular for you to spend that money, and then you don't even get the mint because you're too late because it already minted out, and yet you still made a transaction, so it still was on the blockchain and it still cost money. It cost fees, and so you lost out on the gas fees, and you didn't even get an NFT. So just be thankful that you guys are getting. For those of you who are getting involved now, you are getting involved now. Didn't have to deal with that when Ethereum was a really big popular thing that everyone was doing. Because I spent hundreds upon hundreds of dollars back then just on gas, and it sucks when you do that and then it doesn't even go through. Trust me. Yeah, fuck ETH fees, exactly. So that's where Solana came in. They were, the first one really that came out trying to be, the quicker, faster solution. Then, Near and Sui and all these other ones came out as well, offering different use cases that Solana does not offer. So Solana also has a pretty strong ecosystem with a lot of apps, projects, and communities growing around it, as we can all see. It's grown in popularity, especially recently as well. A big part of that has been because of Solana meme coins, like what Sad Boy is. But Solana's speed comes with trade-offs. So the network has experienced outages in the past, which raises concerns about its reliability. Also, while it is decentralized, it's not as decentralized as Ethereum, which can be a deal breaker for some people in the crypto world. Still, its combination of speed, low cost, and growing community makes it one of the most exciting blockchains out there right now, especially for those who don't like, as Matt Fisher and Cowboy said, the ETH gas fees. And if you want to understand, how Solana is minted, or how Solana minted, how Solana is it works, from like the back end, like how it all works when you send a transaction to somebody, or you're buying an NFT or buying some Solana. In that SAAD crypto safety school, there is a class. It's a live class that goes over. It's an edited live class, so it's not like super long, but it goes over exactly that. It goes over exactly how the whole blockchain process works for Solana, and how when you do send a transaction, if I do send Solana to Matt Fish, how that all works. So if that interests you, definitely be sure to check that out. We can do a live class on that one of these days too. All right, so now that we looked at some of the biggest blockchains, And I'm actually y'all in the chat. I'll give a point for everyone who names one. What are the blockchains that we went over today so far? Everyone get one entry onto our wheel for our giveaways here. So we got Nuclear, right? Is one. That's definitely one we talked about. Mad Fisher is correct. We did talk about Bitcoin. Let's see. So Mad Fisher got Bitcoin. Nuclear got Near. Let's see. Sui says Cowboy. Correct. Kaylee got Ethereum. Farouk got Solana. Oops. Sui, Solana, Litecoin. We did talk about Litecoin. You are correct. That's a good one, Cole. Did we get everyone here or every single? Let's see. We got Ethereum. Oh, there's one more I think that someone didn't say yet. What is the last one that we went over that no one has said yet? So y'all said Bitcoin, y'all said Solana, y'all said Near, y'all said Sui. There it is, Base. And what's something unique about Base that makes it unique from all the other ones we talked about? What is something about Base that makes it super unique compared to the other ones? Mad Fisher is correct. It does have the Coinbase. It is a layer 2 cryptocurrency, so uses Ethereum, but it's a layer 2 off of Ethereum created by Coinbase. That might be a trivia question here later on in the actual trivia. All right, so let's just quickly break down what sets them apart. So while they do have similar things on the surface, especially Near, Sui, and even Solana, like processing transactions and running apps, the way they do it can be totally different, and it does matter for you if you are trading it or trying to invest in them, or even try to be a developer on them, or just try to use them to pay for goods in the future. That might be a very, very popular thing, using cryptocurrency to pay, for different things. So let's talk about speed. Solana is definitely the fastest out of the bunch. It can process thousands of transactions per second almost instantly. Sui is also super quick thanks to its parallel processing technology, while Near offers fast finality in about like 1 to 2 seconds. So you got like Solana, Sui, Near. And then Base also speeds things up by using a layer 2 solution on top of Ethereum. But the one slow one here out of the ones we were talking about is Ethereum. So if you're using Ethereum directly, it's going to be slower. Could even take sometimes between 12 to 15 seconds just per block. Next is cost. So which one do y'all assume is the highest when it comes to cost for those who are using the blockchain? Yep, there you go. Top got that one. We'll get up to the top 3 people. So top, Farouk, and Cowboy. That is going to be Ethereum. Ethereum is notoriously known for its high gas fees and cost for use, especially when the network gets busy. On the flip side, Near, Solana, Base, and Sui all have really low fees. We're talking fractions of a cent in some cases, which is a huge deal if you're doing a lot of transactions or working with smaller amounts of money. For those of you who are in the stock world and might be overseas in an area that does not allow Webull or Robinhood, you might have to deal with using brokers that have fees, which could make day trading a lot harder for you. I think Top might actually be dealing with that. Like if you're day trading $100 account and you're paying $5 in fees every single time you make a trade, it's going to be really hard to turn that $100 account into something reasonable, because every single trade you're already down $5 on a $100 account. That's a lot. And so, that is definitely something to keep in mind. If you're day trading, you only have $100, you want to day trade, maybe Ethereum isn't the best place to do it on, because you're gonna be spending a lot of money in just gas fees alone. So, think or swim. No 15-year for every transit. Yeah. Then there's security. So Ethereum does lead the pack here because of its size and decentralization. The more people that help run the network, the harder it is to attack. Near and Solana are also pretty secure, but Solana has some network outages in the past that has raised a few eyebrows. Base is also secure too, but since it's built on Coinbase, it isn't as decentralized, so some people argue it's not as bulletproof as Ethereum. So you have Ethereum as like the top one. It is decentralized, very secure, very popular. A lot of people run it. Then you have Near and Solana, which are also on the secure side. Solana has some issues in the past. And then Base, is secure, but not 100% decentralized because of the fact it's a layer 2. So we'll talk about ecosystems next, basically just how many apps, projects, and developers are using these blockchains. So Which one is king here when it comes to who has the most developers, apps, projects on their blockchain? Who is king? You're the first 3 people to get this one. I know what you made there. You got it right anyway. Oh, I kind of just gave away to the next 2 people there. All right, we're gonna give it to Kaylee then. She's the only one who got that one right. It looks like so. It is Ethereum, ETH. So Ethereum is definitely going to be king here when it comes to it's been around the longest, and it has because of that the biggest community, the most apps, and it's the go-to for things like DeFi and NFTs. Solana has built a strong ecosystem too, especially with NFTs and gaming. And then, of course, Near, Base, and Sui are still growing, and they're attracting more and more projects because of their speed and low cost. So, Ethereum is definitely the top dog there. It's been around the longest. Solana number 2, and then Near, Base, and Sui are all in like number 3. So finally, we're talking about decentralization. So Ethereum is highly decentralized, which is great for security and trust. Near also scores pretty high here, but Base, since it's backed by Coinbase, isn't as decentralized, and Solana is somewhere in the middle. It's fast, but some argue that the cost that comes at the cost of full decentralization. So depending on what you care about most, speed, cost, security, or decentralization, each blockchain has its own strengths and weaknesses. So, you're really about you're really about decentralization, maybe Ethereum is your best bet. If you're really about speed, you might look at Solana or Sui or Near Protocol. If you're like a developer and you want something that's easy to use, easy to develop on, then maybe you want to look at Near Protocol. If you are, you really like Ethereum, but you don't want to deal with the fees, you might want to look at Base, since it's a layer 2 of Ethereum. Or if you use Coinbase a lot, Base is made by Coinbase, so maybe you want to use Base, since it'll be a little bit more user friendly for you. So it's really dependent on what you personally need, want, and are planning on using it for. So when picking the right blockchain, that can really save you time, it can save you money, and it can even protect your investments depending on what you're doing in the crypto space. So if you're an investor, the blockchain you choose can have a huge impact on your returns, like we were talking about before. If you're constantly moving assets around on Ethereum, those high gas fees can really eat into your profits. But if you switch to something like Near or Solana, where fees are almost nothing, you're keeping much more of that money in your pocket. Plus, different blockchains carry different risks. Some are more secure, while others might be faster but less proven. If you're a developer, the blockchain you choose can affect how your app performs. Let's say you're building a game, like a video game that needs to process tons of transactions quickly. There are a lot of NFTs out there where you can use your NFT in a video game. You probably want to go with Solana or Sui because of their speed and low costs. But if you're building something that needs top-notch security and a big user base, then Ethereum might be the best choice for you, even if it's slower and more expensive. So sure, Ethereum might be slower, more expensive, but there's more people there. It's bigger, it's more popular. So some people do still use it because of that. And of course, if you're a trader, the blockchain that you're on can make or break your strategy. Fast-moving trades on a slow network can be frustrating, especially when fees spike during busy times. So even if you're just using crypto casually, like buying NFTs or sending tokens to friends or using it to buy a hot dog, the blockchain you use and that you choose to use can affect how easy and affordable that is. So some blockchains are more user-friendly, like Near, with its simple wallet names, while others might require more technical know-how. At the end of the day, understanding the difference between blockchains can really help you make smarter decisions, whether you're investing, trading, building, or just exploring. Picking the right one really can save you money, reduce risk, and make your whole crypto experience smoother. Plus, it's just good to know, how to talk about them in general. As crypto becomes more and more heavily adopted, you want to be able to be one of the people who understands how it works, as opposed to one of the ones who are in the in the dark. Like a lot of people, AI. Like there's some people who can talk about it no problem, some who have no idea how it works. So just make sure you know what blockchain you are on. The last thing you want to do is send crypto to a blockchain that the cryptocurrency that you're using is not supported on. So because you could lose all your funds. I've had people try to send SAAD boy token to an exchange that does not support SAAD boy token. 9 out of 10 times you're going to lose all your tokens. You don't want to send Ethereum to a Solana blockchain or to a Solana wallet. You don't want to send Solana to a wallet that only accepts Near tokens. So you want to be careful and understand what blockchain you are on. So this does wrap up our deep dive into the world of blockchains. As you've seen, not all blockchains are created equal. They each have their own strengths, weaknesses, and unique purposes. Whether you're looking for speed, low cost, top tier security, or decentralization, there's a blockchain out there that fits your needs. And remember, understanding the difference isn't just about the tech. It can help you make smarter decisions with your money, your projects, or even your trades, or even just be able to, like I said before, just talk about it in like a more educated way, like Farouk is just talking about right now. So thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope that you walk away feeling a little more confident, just being able to talk the talk and just navigating the crypto space when it comes to just the basics of blockchains. I know this is just one class, so I'm not expecting anyone to be a crypto expert after that. But we are working on recorded videos and handouts, the whole 9 yards, for all those SAAD crypto safety school classes and more. We also have, Austin and some others who do live streams weekly. So definitely be sure to check that out. You can check out the events channel to see what streams we have for today and just, for the rest of the week and in general. So I hope you all are ready for trivia. I am going to go ahead and end the recording part of this this session. But those of you who are still here live, make sure to stick around. We are going to be doing some trivia off of what we just went over, and y'all can win some prizes. We're also going to be announcing our weekly and our monthly raid winners. So definitely be sure to stick around for that. For those of you who are watching after the fact, as always, I hope that you make some bread.